Welcome to Google Docs video 3. In this video, we are going to insert comments, create numbered lists rather than just bulleted, and we're going to highlight text, which you already probably know from last video. All right, so your document should look something like this. It should have your heading. It should have it left justified. It should have a title that you've changed to the font Syncopate. You can also make this bold if you want to. You can either click on the B up there or notice the shortcut says on Macs Command B. On Windows it'd be Control B. So I'm going to do Command B. And then I made my name my favorite color, or one of my favorite colors. I have a section title called My Academic Strengths, which let me show you how you can underline that. Again, you need to highlight it. You can either click the U up there, or you can do the shortcut key. On a Mac it's on a Mac it's Command U. On a Windows computer it's Control U. I usually like to use my command keys to make things faster. And I'm noticing it looks a little bunchy right here. MLA format actually requires you to double space. So I'm going to just show you how to do that right now. You can either highlight by clicking where the cursor is up here, and then click and hold and drag, or I can do it where I say edit, select all. And I'm going to go to the line spacing, which is where the arrows are pointing up and down, and I'm going to choose double. So that would be double spacing. Instead of doing it with the enter key, I would do it this way to make it more uniform and to have less characters. Technically, a new paragraph by hitting enter is like another character. All right, technically this is an MLA format in this font, and neither is it being underlined, but we're just showing you how to use different features. You'll learn MLA format later. Okay, so we're going to learn how to insert a comment right now. So I'm going to do that by making sure we go through your different tasks as well this time. So your task wants you to enter text my top 3 dream vacation destinations. So I'm going to hit enter again. Notice a bullet appears, and I can remove that bullet by either clicking on the bulleted list icon above and it takes it off, or I can remove it because I haven't typed anything just by hitting enter. It disappears. All right, so I'm going to type my title, and notice you capitalize important words in the title. My top 3 dream vacation destinations. And then if you want to underline it to keep it uniform with that, you can. You can either highlight it and do Control U, Command U if you're a Mac, or you can hit the underline key. All right, I'm going to make sure I hit that off so it doesn't underline my next thing. Okay, I have to create a numbered list. So I have to go find the numbers up here and click on that, and notice it creates a 1 and it indents it. And if you ever want to change the margins of your bullets or your numbers, you can always do this like that. Just move it, and notice how it moved the 1 out. It only will move that one that the cursor's on. If I want it to move all of them, I have to highlight them all, and I can move them out like that if you want to. I'm going to undo that. You can undo by doing it with the back arrow, or you can do Command or Control Z, whichever, depending on the Mac or the Windows you have, and that will undo what you've just done. Okay, so I'm going to enter my top 3 dream vacation destinations. So I'm going to do Ireland, Greece, say Scotland. All right, and now I'm going to insert a comment to let me know why you chose one of the locations. Comments are great. They're how I communicate with you a lot in your papers. When you turn them in digitally, I'll sometimes leave comments on them. Your classmates can communicate with you if they see an error or something they're confused about or something they want you to remember. They could do that. So what you're going to do is wherever your cursor is where the comment's going to stick to, the word it's going to stick to. So I'm going to come up to the right hand side, and I'm going to click on the comments button, and then I'm going to click on the comments button again. Okay, and so you'll see that right to the right hand side a comment box will appear, and it will allow me to leave the comment. So why did I choose Scotland? I chose Scotland as I'm a terrible typer, dream destination for a vacation because that is where my family originates from. I would love to go home and meet the Mackey side of my family. Something along those lines. Maybe you could talk about the scenery you like there, the green hills, the old buildings, the history, some of the activities you could do there. I'm just going to make it quick for the purpose of this video. And I'm going to click the blue button, which means I'm posting the comment. So when I post the comment, you'll see that this stays highlighted in yellow. Now if I was to print this, it wouldn't print with the yellow highlight like it would if I highlighted a word like this with this feature. If I was to print this, yes, it would highlight that in gray with a black and white printer, or in color with a color printer. But this will not. All this is doing is showing that I have a comment attached to it. All right, and so you could, as a person, reply to it, what did you mean by that? You know, if you ever had someone comment on something that you've done on your paper and you don't know really what they mean, you could actually reply to it. And usually, I think this does send you emails every time someone comments. And you can edit your comment. You can link to this comment for whatever reason if you needed to. And when you're done with it, you could always click Resolve Comment. And then it's back up here. It's going to be under the notifications. Here you can get notifications if you want to see all comments, only comments that involve you, or if you want to see no comments. But I like to see all comments. All right, and so if you've resolved it, but you're like, you know what, I want this to come back, you can click Reopen, and it will show up down below again. And it gives you a history of everything you've done. You've resolved it, you've reopened it, that kind of thing. You can also delete them if you want to. I highly recommend that you do not use this feature. Just resolve it so that we have record of that comment being on your paper. You always, always, always want to track everything that's been done on your paper. You never want to take off things like that. And just because we're talking about it now, a cool way to track what's been on your paper is if you want to see the revision history, that will help you see what's been done on your paper. So at 12:54 today, here's what my paper looked like. Nothing, right? Because I hadn't done anything on it yet. At 1:24, here's what it looked like, just my heading. At 2:07, here's what it looked like. And you'll notice in green, that's what's been added at that time. And you can also show more detailed changes or revisions. So it'll actually do every minute that you've been on this doing something, which I think is pretty cool. This is what I use to check to see if you've edited your paper since the last time I looked at it. This is what you can use. Like sometimes something will have disappeared from my paper because I stupidly deleted it and didn't know I deleted it until later. So you can actually go back in time if you wanted to. You could click on this and I could say, let's do this one. I could say restore, let's see. Yeah, you could restore it to this version. I'm trying to remember how to do that. Okay. So you could always, if you wanted to, oh yeah, right there, I'm sorry. You could click restore this revision. So you could go back in time if you wanted to an earlier time when you were editing your paper. Be careful when you do this because it will delete everything you've done after this point. Like watch, restore this version. It deleted everything I had done. So you want to be careful not to do that. Let's see if I can get it back. If I can't, you'll know. Yeah, so I may not be able to get it back. So this is just to show you that happens sometimes. Let me see. Yes, okay, I'm going to restore it to this one. Yeah, so just be careful doing that because you can't, it's harder to get back, stuff like that. Okay, so we've added our comment. Now we're going to enter text my academic weaknesses. And you should know how to do this by now. You're going to hit the space. Notice a 4 appears. I can hit backspace if I want to, and the 4 will disappear. I can go up to the numbered list and unclick it. That will happen. Or I could also just hit enter because I haven't typed anything or put any space there, and it will disappear too. There's multiple ways of doing things. Okay, I'm gonna show you before I start typing. If I click Command U, or if I just click up there and just start typing, it will underline as I type my academic weaknesses. And then Command U again so that it doesn't underline the next thing. And I'm going to make a bulleted list. You should remember how to do that. Go up and click on the bulleted list. And then I'm going to list 3 weaknesses I have. I'm going to make these up. We'll say spelling, fractions, and maybe typing. Actually, those aren't really made up. That's probably really true of me. Okay, then I'm going to highlight one of the weaknesses that I want to focus on the most to improve this year. So maybe you think, okay, I would like to learn how to be a better typer. So I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to go up to text color and switch it over to make sure it's switched to highlight. And then I'm going to highlight it so to show that I want to work on that one this year. And that's all you do on this Google Docs 3 video.